Voice. I'm Fara Sachs. I just want to take a moment to send prayers and our heartfelt with Israel at the moment. They're undergoing a lot, and we as a community stand by, and we are with you, Israel, and may you go from strength to strength as we become victorious, and as a people, as a nation, as a country, and as a community. But I want to take also this opportunity to welcome my guests from the Aventura Marketing Council. Joining me today is Elaine Adler. She is the president of AMC, and Gary Pyott, who is the chairman of the board. That sounds so official, but I want to thank you both for coming and to talking to me all about AMC and how the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce is helping our community in so many ways, and businesses, and connecting community and its residents. So thank you both for taking the time out of your busy, busy day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fara. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Well, of course, you sit on our board of directors. It's our Aventura Marketing Council / Chamber of Commerce. And so you know about a lot of the things, but you know, there is a lot in the history of the Aventura Marketing Council that brought us to where we are. So maybe I'll give a real quick history, right?
Yeah, let's talk about the swampland that was Aventura, 785 acres. Wow.
Indeed, indeed. And it was the Sofer family, actually Don Sofer's father, Harry, saw it and said, wow, what a great place to build a golf course. And then I could have my very own golf course. So they built the golf course. It became the country club. And then they built the residential units around it. And then they built the actual Turnberry Country Club, as it was called in those days. And then they built the mall. I remember the years when Don Sofer would say to me, Elaine, the Aventura Mall, I could roll a bowling ball down it and not hit a single person. Today, 50 to 70,000 people on a weekend.
That is so amazing. And how did that evolution happen? How did that vision of turning swampland into really valuable real estate and just really, how did that vision begin for the Sofer family?
It really began because they were developers at heart. They were developers in Pittsburgh. And when they came in and saw that land, they said, here's an opportunity to create something beautiful. And they did. And then other developers followed, you know, Coscan out of Canada, and certainly our own locals. Even it was George Perez that came in. And as in those early days, the developers were just coming in and buying up all the land, and they saw the potential. And through it all, of course, in those early days, the Aventura Marketing Council teamed up with a residential organization called the Joint Council of Aventura. Gary, you remember Len Brenner?
Way back when, yes.
Yep. And we teamed up with them, and we created a self-taxing district. There wasn't a city. We were a donor community. All of our monies and taxes were going down to the county. And honestly, we were getting very little in return. I used to call the county and say, you know, the weeds in the Biscayne Boulevard median strip are like 4 feet high. And they say, oh, yeah, right. Never do anything about it. Then I got smart. And I said, oh, you know, I see rats running around in those 4 foot high weeds. I'm just putting you on notice just in case somebody gets bitten because it's your fault. I became known as the rat lady. But it worked until the city incorporated. And Gary, you're an Aventura resident, you know.
I've been living in the city now for over 30 years. Yeah.
30 years.
And it's changed a lot. Yeah.
So what do you remember when you first moved in versus how it is now? It's a completely different.
Less traffic, you know? Yeah. So I've lived in the city for over 30 years. I've seen the mall. I've seen our incorporation as a city being, you know, Aventura becoming its own, let's call it its own city within Dade County. But the development has absolutely been a vision of many people, as Elaine said, not only the Sofer family, but multiple developers. But, you know, I remember the days around Country Club Drive, which is the 3.1 miles that really is the circumference circle road that goes around, circles the country club, if you will, Turnberry Isle. And that is where most of the residential buildings are on, and there's all buildings. So I remember when part of that Aventura Boulevard, Aventura Way was vacant. It was just empty lots. And over these last 30 years, now there is a residential condominium building, whether it's a low rise or a high rise building, on every parcel of land that goes around the country club. So
And
it's
it's
been
really
big.
It's really, really grown up. And I remember my grandparents, they lived in Century 21, which was right on Biscayne Boulevard, right off 163rd, and a little bit north of that. And I just remember there was nothing here many, many moons ago.
Yep.
And it's really, really thriving, and it's a beautiful community. And you both really have really made an imprint and a footprint for keeping the business community together. So maybe you could just talk a little bit about your background and how Gary, you're a business owner, and now you're sitting on the chairman of the board of the Aventura Marketing Council. And Elaine, you're the heartbeat of the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce. So just talk about why you got involved and how that has really affected your community and bringing people together.
Sure. So I think, first of all, to answer that question, we need to go back and, as Elaine said, she gave a little bit of a history about let's call it Aventura, the development of Aventura. But out of that really came the Aventura. At that time, it was known as the Aventura Marketing Council, and it was created back in 1989. So we've been in existence from 1989, and its original creation was just for that, to become a unified voice because of the business community. Everybody was really new to, quote unquote, this Aventura parcel of land, if you will, between basically Biscayne Boulevard to the west, if you will, to a little bit just north of Ives Dairy Road to the north, and to 183rd Street to the south. I mean, we've stretched a little bit, but that was really the entire border, excuse me, of the community. So back in 1989, the developers kind of got together, and obviously Sofer Associates was a big driver of that. And they wanted a voice to be able to start to bring people together. So out of that became the Aventura Marketing Council. So it's been in existence, thank God, knock on wood, whatever. Elaine that you have on the screen she's the constant of the entire organization. She has been there since day one, since 1989. And then through these last couple of years, since 1989, if you will, it has constantly been and remained a voice of the community. The community, whether you're a business owner or a residential part of it, or even to some degree the government of Aventura, comes to the Chamber of Commerce and Marketing Council to ask for suggestions or input or involvement. So, it's been an integral part of the city. It's not just like a lot of other municipalities where the Chamber of Commerce is another business, for lack of a better term, running events and things like that. We have actually, since our existence in 1989, become an ingrained part of the operation of the business community and the city. So it's been quite remarkable, but yet quite unique when you compare it to most of the other municipalities and cities.
And Elaine, where did this vision come from that needed to be a chamber, that it needed to be something that ties its community together? And, what were you doing before all of, we think of Elaine Adler, we think of the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce, but there was life before that. And there is you really are the heart of what the community is doing, bringing not only the politicians and the governments together, but the police chiefs and the local municipalities that protect its citizens. So maybe you can address that.
All right. Well, yes, I did have a life. For 16 years, I was president of the North Dade Chamber of Commerce. And actually, it was Willie Trump that at that point was building Williams Island. And he always insisted it was not Willie Williams Island. It wasn't his island. They just happened to choose that name. So, okay. So he would say to me, listen, I have the vision. I can see Aventura's going up, North Dade's going the other direction. He says, I want you to come see what I'm developing. And of course, at that point, all those elegant buildings were being built on Williams Island. And yeah, that's how it started. And I was kind of brought in kicking and screaming. I did not want to leave my family over there at the North Day Chamber, but I did. And it was honestly the best thing I ever did. Willie Trump was one of my very first board members. And we just, because I had that 16 years history of running a Chamber of Commerce, you know, I kind of knew what would work and what wouldn't work. I knew I was entering into a new arena. People still, at that point, the city was not incorporated, didn't incorporate till 95. So my first mission was to say, this is a community that is known as Aventura. The big wigs, the big developers were hiring big PR firms, and they were saying, oh, we could call it Xanadu. We could call it this. And Don Sutter said, listen, guys, I've got this mall. I'm calling it Aventura. Let's just call it Aventura. Fine.
What does Aventura really mean? What is the history of the word Aventura?
Adventure.
Right.
I remember Senator Gwen Margolis. She'd always call us Adventura. It didn't matter.
Yes. Yeah.
When I'm driving up to Aventura, I don't call it Aventura. I call it Aventorture. So, but
yes, but now we have the Bright Line.
Yes.
We have. I was just going to say we have the Bright Line. They're expanding, and it really makes ease of transportation so much better and less torturous.
Right. So you can take the Bright Line down from Miami, right? There's going to be a stop. It isn't quite in Aventura. You know, anything west of Dixie Highway, we call that AA, almost Aventura. So on West Dixie Highway, there is the Bright Line station, and they are going to be building a passenger over, right? Going right across into the Aventura Mall. So you can come right from downtown Miami, get off at the Aventura stop, and move on over to Aventura itself, right to the Aventura Mall, the heart of Aventura, right?
And it's beautiful. We went through AMC. We had the pleasure of going on Bright Line, and it's beautiful. It's clean. It's convenient, and it really was quite a beautiful morning that we spent. And what a great way to get and to connect to other cities and municipalities.
And that's something that we do. I'm glad you brought that up. That is something that we do consistently. We have about 8 other cities that are dues-paying members of the Aventura Marketing Council. We collaborate with the cities. By the way, we are totally apolitical. So that's an important thing. And I think that's what keeps us right on an even keel. Mm-hmm. So we do work with a lot of different cities, a lot of different chambers, a lot of different charities. We have some amazing events. I mean, our monthly breakfast meetings.
Why don't we flip to the video, to the pictures? Because we're going to talk about a little bit of what the events are and how you pivot in the community and what happens and all things good about the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce. Here we go. What are we seeing?
Harry, take that one. That was last week.
So here we are. This is last week on a quarterly basis. That's Commissioner Linda Marks. There to the left, she chairs our CHOAB, which is our community program that we do with board members and property managers within the city of Aventura. And that was last week's luncheon. We do a quarterly luncheon. It's been at Ruth Christ, and we bring in expert speakers. Last time, Jason Pizzo, our local senator and big supporter here in our community, participated. We had a management company, we had a cable company to come in, and it's about providing another level of education to the leaders within our community, because we are a vertical city for the most part. We do have a couple of homeowners associations or single family home developments, but for the most part, our city is a vertical community, whether that's a low rise or high rise condominium. So to Elaine's point on providing education and programs, this is one of the programs. And this program here is sold out, reserved in advance, if you will, probably at least 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance whenever we schedule these on a quarterly basis. So this program was an educational.
Very, very important, because we do deal with a lot of subjects and a lot of different genres and venues within the community, and touching different people and their work situations. So it's really wonderful how you really tweak that to the needs of the community through the chamber. What are we looking at now? This is a fun picture. This was a fun day. This was a fun day.
Yeah, there's Jackie Sofer on the left and our former commissioner, Miami-Dade Commissioner Sally Heyman. And we were at the Aventura Mall in their treats food court. And it's very rare, so, okay, I've been there like 33 years. I have yet to get Jackie to speak. This is the first time we were able to get Jackie Sofer, who owns and operates the Aventura Mall, to come and speak to our group.
And it's a really beautiful, beautiful mall. It's really undergone so many growing up experiences or growing pains, and it's just exquisitely elegant now and a great destination. There's something there for everyone, all kinds of stores and eateries, and just a great way to populate and gather together as a community.
Right. That was just another one in a long list. We'll keep on. Let's go in with the pictures because they're so much fun to watch.
Absolutely. Next one. Oh, there's Gary.
Oh,
well, we can kind of skip through this one really quick.
Gary,
but
remember this one?
you know what? Here's what it does. This picture just shows the amount of enjoyment and fun that our events have. We try to keep them light. We try to keep them educational, informative, to the people that actually, they take a time out of their day to come to these programs. This is a luncheon program that we held, and you can see our musician behind us that is part and involved in our. I know we're going to talk about it later. The our musical program coming up, if you will. But listen, our programs. We know people spend time out of their day to come. We want them to enjoy themselves, be educated, be informed, but we don't want them to come just to sit there and listen to people talk and then go, oh my God, okay, now, when is this going to be over so I can get out of there?
It's always fun. Let's go to the next. Gary, you look like you're having fun anyway. You know how to have fun.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, our football. Every year we honor football players, NFL alumni who give back to the community. So we have a whole lineup of them every single year. And they talk about their charities. And we said, rather than give you a plaque or an award, that'll probably sit in a drawer or not, or never go no place. How about if we make a donation for each of your charities? And they were so touched and so much, they were so much appreciative of.
Someone was trying to make a donation at that point, probably.
I hope so.
Yeah, you know what? And I never even counted the donations because we do that. I never even counted that into our charitable donations.
So the Aventura Marketing Council has raised how many millions?
We've raised over $1.5 million since our inception. It's a great question, Fara, because we do. I think there's two things actually that are important. One, yes, we are a membership organization. We're 100% membership organization, and we basically only have two levels of membership, and that's the general, besides the board members, but we have a general membership and a chairman's roundtable membership. Those are our only two levels of membership, which are, again, much different than all of the other chambers. But the real difference is once you become a member of the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce, we do not charge for any of the other events that we put on. We don't have a breakfast fee or a lunch fee or anything like that, or our receptions in the evenings that we do for businesses and things like that. And that is in this day and age, we've been able to maintain that through our constant and supportive membership. But that is truly, truly one of the huge differences that you'll find not only in Chamber of Commerce's to our local existence here in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, but across the country. There's nobody else that we have found that runs that. But to your point, since our inception, we do have the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce Educational Foundation, which we support tremendously through those donations, and we've raised over $1.5 million since our existence.
Absolutely amazing. And let's go to the next photo.
That's our big jumbo expo at the Design Center of the Americas. We coordinate 5 chambers, and each chamber, that space only allows for 80 exhibitor tables. That's sold out, and it's only for the members of those 5 chambers. Last year and the year before, we had about 500 attendees, which are all business people. The networking, the one-on-one business connections, amazing. It was just a great, great event. And Dakota, as it's called, is just a beautiful, elegant, and very accessible place, because these were a number of chambers in Broward County that we were connecting with and coordinating with.
And it's really wonderful when other chambers can meet other chambers, because we get insulated in our own chamber and we don't realize that there are other opportunities for us to engage and to reach for our businesses or products and services that we might need. So I think this is a beautiful way for the community to get together. When is the next expo?
And we're planning it right now. It'll be spring of 2024. It's always in the spring.
That's great. That is great. So we'll mark our calendars on that one. What's happening here?
Well, let's see. I'm going to put on my glasses and see, because we got so much going on. Oh, this was our annual law day. Our Aventura Marketing Council also coordinates the annual law day for the North State Justice Center, and there's a bunch of our judges there. On the far right is your senior judge, Judge Linda Singerstein, and to her left is Katie Fang, who was a newspaper, a television, reporter, and she was just an amazing speaker. And it's one of the very special things. We get a full house of mayors, police chiefs, city clerks, city attorneys that come to this. And we always invite in the law clubs, either from St. Thomas University or Alonzo and Tracy Morning Senior High.
Great. This is wonderful. And next.
Gary,
why aren't you up there, Gary, doing your little flamenco number? Come on.
There are some things I don't do.
Well, that was a professional women's council luncheon that we held. See the woman in the middle? That is a doctor. She is the medical doctor of One Medical. And as a sponsor, you get a few minutes at the podium to talk about it. You're not the program, because the program was our own women talking about really funny experiences we had. She said, "I'd rather dance than talk."
You did a magnificent job. It was wonderful.
She is a flamenco dancer. So the girl on her right is our sponsor from University of Miami.
And it was a wonderful luncheon that we had.
Oh my goodness, Icebox Cafe, it was. And we go all over. Icebox Cafe is one of our wonderful members out in Hallandale.
Absolutely. Yep. Next one.
That was when I think we did the State of the City of Sunny Isles Beach. We also do the State of the City of Aventura. And there's our mayor.
We have both mayors, and we have FPL in the middle.
And Gary is smiling again.
Good old Gary. I love it.
There is our annual student-run breakfast meeting. We have students from our 10 different partner schools. We work with them, train them. They are absolute superstars at the podium once we're done with them. Standing in the middle of the black jacket is our sponsor from Jackson North Hospital, and the superintendent is there on the right.
And I think it's really wonderful, because a lot of these kids never have public spoken or never did any public speaking. Wow. So it's really wonderful to see them in a different element and getting exposure to something that they would not in ordinary life probably experience. So I always know when Elaine is training them, because they're taught, hello, Aventura. They have this wonderful energy, and it's just so sweet to see them. And it's a great breakfast. And again, brings the community together, brings the police chiefs together, brings the cities together.
Yep, does it. Gary, look at that one.
This is our salute to the city. We just had this. We had the City of Aventura update just about a week or two ago at the Hilton here, the beautiful new Hilton here in Aventura. And that's where our mayor, Howard Weinberg, gave the state of the city, the update, a little bit about what's happened over this last year, about what's current, about what's moving forward, and some really important programs that the city are doing. And you have commissioners there, you have sponsors there from UM Health, and you have In the middle, Elaine can give this. We, as the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce, that big A in the middle was an art piece that was done for the Chamber of Commerce several years ago. And at this breakfast meeting, we actually donated that art piece with the big A on it for Aventura to the city of Aventura.
It was great. It was a wonderful breakfast. It's always fun and exciting. It's never boring. And it's a great way to get involved with the community and find out the pulse of what's going on in Aventura and around the communities.
Jerry, we were just.
This is the program. This is literally the program that we just had earlier in this week. And there is a huge supporter of ours on the right, Mr. Ron Book, one of the largest law firms and lobbyists within the state, represents most of the municipalities within Dade and Broward County. And you have Juan Joaquin in the middle. He is our new clerk for Dade County, if you will. He was our guest speaker that day. Ron was our sponsor that day. And this was, again, over at Ruth Chris. This program was, again, one of our luncheons for our Chairman's Round Table members earlier this week. And this Ruth Chris was filled to capacity again. And it was a great lunchtime program that we had just earlier this week.
Perfect. Next.
Oh, this was our salute to our fire rescue, which we held. I think that was in like a couple months ago. So we invite in the all the fire chiefs, their leadership teams. We also give out an Above and Beyond award to someone in the fire department that has really given of themselves above and beyond. And you can see it. There's the dogs. Look at, there they are. Those fire rescue dogs.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, Gary, did you think this was Brito?
This was, Fara and I go way back with Brito.
Yeah.
So, the last 2 years, we were fortunate enough to take our membership guests from our membership down to the Romero Brito's, I'll call it warehouse, call it factory, call it where everything happens from out of the Brito Gallery. We've been fortunate enough to do it twice now. And this is a picture of, obviously with Romero in the beginning, in the front, and Elaine to the left, and everybody there. And I do see Fara right in the middle.
In the back. But it's a great way, again, that someone that's as successful as he is, giving back to the community in a constant way. And it really is heartwarming that he was there and that we all got excited. And again, a local person helping the local community. And on that note, I know that the time that we have left is your Young Stars Showcase. Although it is sold out, maybe we can just see what folks will be seeing, experiencing, and what the meaning is for these young stars that every year we have had the fortune of seeing the talent that is happening in our beautiful city of Aventura, and what that means for our community. So if we have the video, Wilson, and you guys can just start talking about it.
So I'll give a little introduction. So yes, the Young Star Showcase is our signature event at the Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce. This will be the 14th annual Gulfstream Park Young Star Showcase, and obviously it will be at Gulfstream Park. It's coming up on Sunday, November the 5th at the Sport of Kings Theater over at Gulfstream Park. And yes, it features amazing young stars, amazing singers that come to this program year in and year out. We've had some singers like this one on the thing, Mason Pace, that have blossomed and end up having a musical career on their own, that come back year after year and donate their time to this program. And all proceeds, as I've said before, all proceeds for this event go towards our AMC Educational Foundation. And to your point, yes, we have a capacity of 400 people in the Sport of Kings Theater over at Gulfstream Park, and already, program being on November the 5th, the program is already reserved to capacity. So, Elaine, anything you want to add on it?
Oh, no, it's just a great one. We had our first group rehearsal last night, and we've got some brand new young stars. They come to us from Palm Beach County, from South Dade. It is way beyond Aventura. Yes.
But it's just a wonderful way, again, for young people to express their art and have an audience at such a young age. So kudos to the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce and for leadership to really giving them that platform. Let's talk a little bit about the Aventura News and how community newspaper works with the chamber. And so you can fill.
You mean this paper?
So happens.
It just so happens to have that.
Right. Well, way back when I first came to Aventura, and I was speaking to Grant Miller, and he said, and I said, I think Aventura could use its own paper. He said yes. I said yes, and we've been working together ever since. So the Aventura News is the voice of the Aventura Marketing Council. It just is. Why would we send a newsletter out to 800 members when we could have 20,000 people read the stories of our members and the special events and the amazing things that not only the Marketing Council does, but our own members are doing. So it is a commitment. It is definitely a commitment because we have a number of pages in there, but we are so proud to be able to offer that as one of the member benefits, that we can work with the community newspapers, and it's both the Aventura News and the Sunny Isles Beach News. So it's like double exposure for our members. So it helps them, definitely helps the business community. And I think we provide great content and interesting stories.
Absolutely, you do. It's been a tireless job, but you rise to the occasion every single issue. So we appreciate the input that you provide to us during those little run cycles. In the time we have left, just a couple of maybe points that we might have missed that you want to just bring up.
Gary, it's yours.
I think really for today, we've touched upon the history of Aventura a little bit. We've touched upon the history of the Marketing Council, and obviously our signature event coming up on November the 5th, the Young Star Showcase. I think the only other thing really is to just reiterate to everybody that, we have been here for a long, long time, since 1989, if you will. We do hold meetings, obviously. As I said, those are all included in your membership fee. We hold 3 to 5 meetings per month, all of them free to our Aventura Chamber, our Marketing Council Chamber members. We hold breakfast meetings. Our average breakfast meeting gets anywhere up to 150 members. So people do take the time out and the commitment and know the level of professionalism that we provide to our members. I mean, they show up as you do, Fara. They're there at 7:15 in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning. So people make an effort to go out of their way to attend our events, which I think goes to a lot of credit to Elaine and her staff in putting on a professional program. So yes, we hold the monthly breakfast meetings. We hold the monthly evening networking receptions, socializing events, which highlight the business community and the businesses that we have. We have the monthly Speed Biz meetings. That's a one-on-one business connection network, if you will. We hold those at businesses within the community. Another free event, if you will, where business leaders come. They sit across a chair from each other. It's called Speed Biz because they only have a minute or two to communicate to each other. So that old marketing elevator speech about what's important to them and a little bit about what they do. And then we have our monthly education committee meetings, which create, with our 10 partner schools that, that is one of our major functions that we do and we raise money for. And again, and then our special events, as we've covered, the annual Jumbo Networker, the Professional Women's Council Luncheon, which is coming up again, the Law Day, the Wounded Warriors. We didn't mention that. So every year we have the annual. We're fortunate enough to be the annual kickoff location here in Aventura for the annual Wounded Warriors event, which is held every year in January in Aventura. And we've been fortunate enough for number of years that the Wounded Warrior program has chosen Aventura for their annual event, their annual bike ride, which goes all the way to Key West. And every single year it gets kicked off here in the city of Aventura. So, you know, from my perspective, it is absolutely one of the pleasures that I've been involved with for well over 10 or 15 years with the Chamber of Commerce. And I just, you know, from me, it's just been a pleasure, not only from a business community, but personally. And it's just a tremendous organization that people that don't even live in Aventura, that belong, or businesses,
Absolutely.
which we have a lot of, get so much benefit and education. And it's just good for everybody.
And absolutely well said. And with that, I want to leave you with, if you want more information about the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce, there have been a scroll on this webinar, aventuramarketingcouncil.com / I want to thank you all of you, all two of you, and the three of us to have this time together. I really, really appreciate it. And so maybe we should just do our little tagline before we leave, and a great way to end this broadcast. Go ahead, Elaine. Do it.
It's good business to do business. To do business with Aventura Council members. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Fara, and thank you all your support from community newspapers. Really, thank you.
Thank you for your time, and all the best. And I hope you have a great day. I'm Fara Sachs, and this has been the Community Voice. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Thank you.
Thank you.